Hamish with order editing.
How we doing?
Welcome, dude.
Thank you.
Coming all the way from Australia, Melbourne.
I know. It's like a 14-hour flight.
That's a long ways. And then you just came from LA when? To Utah?
Literally last night.
Okay,
Yeah, so I did a month in California.
Just driving or?
Flew.
Flew, okay.
Yeah.
But Z's driving from Vegas.
Z's driving from Vegas.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So he's your transportation while you're here.
He's my chauffeur. That's what he says.
That's why, yeah.
I say
Everyone needs
I
one.
say developer, he says chauffeur.
That's right. Chauffeur, Uber driver. That's fantastic. Well, dude, we start every episode of the OP show with our first segment. It's called Out of the Box.
Nice.
Where we get to understand who's this Hamish character.
Yeah.
You're brand new on the scene, dude. You're everywhere.
Yeah.
So we got to understand what you're doing with order editing, and then obviously kind of like your personal aspirations and mission.
Nice.
All right, cool. Let's let it rip.
Yeah.
Okay, share with us your company's story.
Yeah, this birthed 2 years ago. I was working in e-commerce as a head of customer experience, and I found out that 1.5% of all customers would make a mistake at checkout on their address. And for us, that was like 3,000 support tickets every month. And yeah, I mean, we had returns portals to self-service that process. And I was like, oh, we should have this for post-purchase changes as well. Like customers would love it. We don't get the ticket. And fortunately, no one else was on the market. We built our own. And then a year later, suddenly you've got like all of the data from your e-com brand to be like, this is a freaking compelling product. We should launch it and go to market.
Yeah.
And we've been in existence for about 14 months now.
Okay, so it was you. So yeah, walk me through that. I mean, that's a lot that happens in a short, very short sentence or period of time. So yeah, talk to me a little bit more.
So
give us the deets.
My first ever professional job was working customer service at an e-com brand that was doing about 40 mil a year.
It's great.
And
can we shout out the brand? What brand was it?
It's now bankrupt.
Okay.
And some bad controversy around it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we would get 10,000 support tickets every month. Mm-hmm. And I was managing that team, and I looked at the data, and we would get 3,000 support tickets saying, can you change my address? Can you cancel this order? My son bought it with my credit card.
So what was the process of changing, when a customer would then respond in, what was the process for you guys before order editing was a thing?
Yeah, it was like, customer has to write an email. They have to get through the help desk queue of everyone else and get to the top so that we answer them. We would then write an email back saying, like, we've just resolved your issue, and part of that is going into 3 different softwares to edit it for them. Mm-hmm. And then you'd never hear from them again. And that's like permitted that they actually include the address that they wanted to change to, or what the product size they wanted to change to. Some people would just reach out and be like, can you change my address?
Yeah.
And so you have like, yes, we can. What's the new address? And you go back and forth. But it's like a 3-hour total excursion for the customer, and like 10 minutes out of our day.
You call it an excursion. It makes it sound like a good time, but it's not.
It's like, I mean, it's a really shitty drive. It's like driving in the rain through a canyon that's got thin roads, and there's a mudslide happening in front of you. It sucks.
Okay, the mudslide. Everything else up to that,
you enjoyed that
description, I was like, man, that sounds kind of nice. And then you said the mudslide, and it's like, okay, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, and I mean, self-service is better.
Yeah.
Like, fuck waiting on a support agent to get back to you while 100%. You're concerned that your order's going to ship to the wrong address, like from the customer's perspective. And like, why are we doing this for you?
Yeah.
Like, why should you not be empowered to just like click a button and click edit and get what you want delivered to you at the right doorstep?
Yeah.
So we built that, and like that year, I remember our sales grew by like 20 or 30%, and we didn't hire any more staff.
It's fantastic.
Like, your order volume increases, but you don't have this like unscalable function that's customer service, where more orders, more tickets.
Yeah.
Because we were built for it, and you just wiped out like 30% of our help desk demand.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So this for order editing, this brand that you worked with was the first one to kind of implement the technology, or?
Yeah.
Okay,
and so we were a conglomerate of stores. So we weren't a brand, we were a merchandising company.
Cool.
So we would design and manufacture and ship clothing for famous YouTubers. Mr. Beast was the big like staple client for us. Hence why so many mums would reach out being like, my son bought this with my card. He didn't have permission.
Yeah.
And
classic kids.
Yeah, we rolled it out across 22 stores.
That's great.
That was like our user-based testing was across 22 stores.
That's a great use case.
Yeah. And it's always nice when you build a product out of like we didn't think of it. I mean, I was 21 at the time, and I didn't think of it as as a business opportunity. It was just like, we really need this.
Yeah.
Otherwise our life is hell.
Yeah.
And there's like this massively bloated support team. It costs a shit ton of money. Our customers hate us. They're blasting us on Twitter. We get returns, we get failed deliveries, we get all of that stuff that you just don't want to deal with.
I feel like being associated with like the YouTube community too, and like producing or merchandise for content creators, because they have such an extreme following, right?
Yeah.
Like that also provides some complication on the CX side for sure.
It just means you hemorrhage a lot of risk if you fuck it up.
That's right.
Like
the stakes
because,
are high.
Yeah, you get blown out on Twitter, and that had happened before. The agent's name will get slandered like on Twitter, and since Mr. Beast is tagged, we'll get a bunch of views.
Yeah.
And like you're actively dealing with someone else's audience that they've curated and have a brand and an image that people look up to, and they think we're associated with it, and we were. And I think that was why, like a lot of people will say, Hamish, why hasn't this existed before? Why haven't Shopify built this as a feature? Like, how did you just stumble on this thing that should have existed 20 years ago when e-com launched? Because people have been messing up their order forever. And I just think we're in this unique situation of like, one, there was a real emphasis on customer experience because of the creator's audience. Two, I was young and naive and stupid enough to think that it was really easy to edit an order when you had like an ERP or a third-party logistics provider. And three, like I was just super inexperienced. Like I was 3 months into my job and this just looked like stupid, didn't make sense to me. But I think that's pretty rare to happen when you're new to it, like when you've been in an industry for a long time and all you know is what you know. Whereas I came in and I was fortunate to become a manager, so I had like oversight of what was happening. And I was stupid enough to build it, but also like I was brilliant enough to build it. But
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you, like when I heard your pitch earlier when Mitch asked you what order editing does, and you specify that like 1.5% of all orders get messed up.
Yeah.
1.5% seems like kind of a small problem.
Look at, consider larger brands. Like and that's why we have really strong product market fit at the top end of town, is because Opoly will ship out 100,000 orders a month, and that is 1,500 support tickets for them. And then that gets like worse, where like, yes, that's manual labor, but Opoly will ship your order out in 2 hours, and they've got everyone else's tickets to go through. And so what actually ends up happening is all of these big brands like Dermalogica or whatever they are, they'll say, you can't make changes to your order because like they just can't facilitate it. You can't respond in time. And so in a conversation with like Decuba or Opoly or someone, they say, yes, we get 1,500 support tickets a month, but those are also 1,500 failed deliveries, return to senders, returns.
Yeah, it hurts margins for sure.
Because you can't,
bottom line,
you can't respond to them in time. They just ship.
100%. Yeah, we're in a very similar camp actually. It's funny that you mentioned like 1.5%. Across all of our customer base right now, outside of all the order volume that we protect, 1.7% actually results in a claim that's being paid out by order protection. So it's like some people are like, oh, well, it's, we don't have that many orders that are, lost, damaged, missing items, wrong items in transit, whatever the case may be. But then you start to consider how that compiles month over month, year over year. And it's
gross.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for the brand. And then obviously the end consumer, we can empower them from a technological standpoint to just resolve the issue themselves for the most part, right? It's like, it's a couple clicks is all we're asking.
Yeah.
And so that's brilliant that you guys came up with that when you did.
Yeah, it's like we've been raising like money at the moment from some angels. And when they ask me, like, tell me about the product. And like you say, that 1.5% is like maybe not the most sexy number to put in your pitch deck. But what I get really, like when I speak about it, I go, like, I think we are the second app after Loop Returns or like after returns portals to actively change storefront policy and like change the way they operate in a public facing way.
Yeah.
Like if you think back to when Loop launched like 10 years ago or whatever, their policy might be like, this is how you do returns, or you can't do returns because it's too challenging. The very same thing is happening now, where if you look up all of these major brands, edit my order, they will have FAQs and policies that say we don't do changes. Return it or cancel it and order again. And we're actively flipping those to, you have 15 minutes to make changes to your order after purchase, like do so here. And that's really cool.
That's
like,
super cool.
When you think about in 12 months, how many of those prehistoric policies will still exist and how many are delivering what I think anyone would describe as the preferred experience to customers.
Have you guys like quantified at all what the cost savings is from a return standpoint? Like how many returns do you guys prevent?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We've got one really engaged retailer, Sheet Society in Australia, and Dee promised me that she would like collect together the return data from before order editing and after, but I haven't had the conversation yet.
Yeah.
We know there's an impact. I don't know what it looks like. But
it's gonna be wild.
I think that's
gonna be a fun one.
I think that's gonna be the next turning point for our business. Is like when we start.
Well, it prevents claims for companies like us that are on the
exactly.
hook for paying out claims on behalf of these retailers that we partner with too. So that's interesting.
We'll get the data.
That's right.
We'll get the data.
Cool. So tell me a little bit more about like your hobbies and interests outside of building order editing.
Yeah.
Who's Hamish?
Who's
behind the
Hamish?
scenes, dude. Tell us.
Is
Is he an open book?
Yeah, I'm an open book. I mean, look, like I'm only 23 and
Young buck.
I'm still like very much so figuring out the world.
Big handsome boy.
The world and like who I am and what I love doing. But I've always been really ambitious and driven and like running through life as fast as I can. I think that I was talking to someone the other day and saying like, I think the number one thing that my mom said to me growing up was slow down. Like whether it was eating food or like whatever it was, it's like slow down. Are you sure you're not doing too much?
Yeah.
And that's always been me, just like throwing myself into situations, trying to get the absolute most out of it.
It's a great way.
And that's obviously translating through here. But like on a hobbies perspective, like I have so much extroversion in my day to day, and I grew up really extroverted, and now I've found I'm like reclusing a little bit. And now like I really enjoy reading and I enjoy hiking and just like exercising alone and listening to music and cooking food. And I think like the number one thing that I love doing at the moment is just sharing a meal with someone, which we'll be doing tonight. So
that's right, dude.
Yeah, that's what I love
Thank
doing.
goodness. I love that. What's the best piece of advice that you've received? Outside of your mom telling you to slow down.
Yeah, it's sound advice. The best piece of advice that I've ever received is that like you've got a history of making good decisions based on your gut. And the reason why those decisions have worked out is because, and why like that history looks the way it does, is because a lot of the decisions you're making are two-way doors. And if something's a two-way door where you can walk through it, and if it doesn't turn out to be the right call, you can walk back out and it's like no harm's done. Maybe you spend a bit of money or you spend a bit of time or like something suffers, like that's okay. You know, it's a learning experience. And I think that encouraged me to just like act on the gut a lot more when you have a decision like that and acknowledging what the difference is between a one-way door, like a decision that's irreversible, like who your co-founder is or like things like that versus something that you can walk through, check out if it looks pretty on the other side, if you want to live there or whatever it is, and then walk back out if it doesn't work. And like hearing that, especially as we've been on this like founder journey, has meant that we can do a lot of experimental things and just like throw ourselves into situations and not get too caught up on like what the consequence of this might be, because like the analysis of the decision is like, is it reversible? Yes. Like have at it, man.
Yeah,
like,
go for it.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I love that. Speaking of doors, a little birdie once told me that you were trying to walk through a revolving door and you went the wrong way.
Dude. I was just telling the story to Z as well.
Tell me more about that.
Well, I'm driving on the wrong side of the road here.
Yeah.
And that came pretty easy because everyone else around you is doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that everything here would be, what, right? Yeah, like right. Like I'm used to left to right because of New Zealand and Australia. And we parked in a hotel lobby and you go up and there's like the lovely revolving doors, which every kid loves. And I just go straight through, like full confidence, left way, and it just stops. And it took me so long.
Did you hit the glass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Michael was just standing there pissing himself, and it still took me like 2 seconds to figure out what I did wrong, and then it went the other way. It just made no sense.
That's fantastic.
Until it was told to me. I was like,
I had to plug that because Michael, before this show, I was like,
embarrass him.
Hey, Hamish is going to be on the show. And he was like, bring up this story.
Oh, it was funny. It was funny.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
If you could bring one fictional character to life to work with you, to build order editing with, who would that fictional character be and why?
Oh, that's so hard to answer. For some reason, my mind just went to Geronimo Stilton.
Who?
Do you not have Geronimo Stilton as a... No. Dude, Geronimo Stilton is like this children's book series. There's like 200 of them.
Okay.
And since there's 200 of them, he's kind of done everything. Like he's been every character in the book. I don't know, it's just where my mind went. It was like a childhood thing. I think enamored
Well, we're
by
gonna
them.
have to look that up. Yeah, pull up a
I'd love to build
picture.
business with
Yeah,
them.
yeah, that's right. We'll pull up some picture. We'll have it on or on the not post purchase,
Post-production or whatever.
post-production. Yeah. Cool, man. Where do you see yourself expanding in the next coming years?
Yeah, I mean, we're super committed to this vision of every brand should have a self-service portal, and we'll have a self-service portal for customer changes. Naturally, we want to be that portal. Outside of the business, like on a personal level and personal goal, I hope that in the coming years, like once we've finished up with auto editing, once we've solved that problem, that I can go on and teach and like lecture at university.
That's sweet.
That's my
Where at? Which universities?
wherever's got the youngest, hungriest kids that like want to start companies and are inspired and
cool.
not fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's super cool. I love that. Well, man, I appreciate all the genuine answers. You got dude, you're old, man. You're wise for your age. You got an old soul.
Yeah. A lot of my family I used to describe my brothers like that. I was like, Alex, you're a bit of an old soul.
Yeah.
And
Now you're
super
coming of age.
it's super weird to be told that now.
It's funny because
do we all get like that when we turn 23? What the hell?
Man, I think you go through some of these experiences. It just comes with experience, right? I don't think there's 50 or 60-year-olds that haven't matured as much as people that go through really difficult experiences early on in life. And I think you're going through some of those experiences right now, which is why I make that comment. And I have that comment made to me because you've seen things that a lot of people don't have the opportunity of seeing.
Yeah, it's a funny way to put it. Like, I can't remember what they said to me, but they said something along the lines of you've got it, like you're so good at doing this business thing. And I was like, man, when we launched 14 months ago, like I was not. Like we really weren't that good at what we do for a very long time. And I think people struggle to comprehend that, like, yes, it's miraculous what you can do, but I'm in a unique situation where I've been able to build a muscle and get reps in the gym, and other people my age that aren't doing the experiences that we're going through, like you don't have the opportunity to build that muscle. So of course you're gonna look and go like, how the fuck do you do that? But it's like,
It's just reps.
yeah, I mean, like I'm in a bodybuilding gym versus like doing push-ups in my bedroom at the moment. And I'm like, that's just the situation that I'm in.
Yeah.
And it's fight or flight.
That's all it is, man. Sink or swim. Well, cool, man. That concludes segment number 1 of Out of the Box.
Is this you or me?
That's you. Yeah, I've drinking most of mine, I believe.
Thirsty boy.
So the next segment, here, I'll freshen up too. Might as well. It's a little warm.
It's a little warm.
Warm day. We have word association as the segment number 2. This is a good one. Okay, so we're going to read the instructions on the screen here. There's going to be a single word on the screen. I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1. And then after the countdown, we both have to simultaneously say aloud the word that we're thinking.
Okay.
And it's got to be connected. The goal is to have both of us say the same word, indicating that we've successfully matched the words together.
Spanners.
So there's going to be 10 words.
All right.
Okay. You ready? Let's let it rip. Okay, ready? Summer. 3, 2, 1.
Sun.
Pan. Damn it. Okay, we're going to get in sync.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. Concert. 3, 2, 1.
David
Band.
Bowie.
I was going to say post.
Is it meant to be the first thing that comes to your head?
First thing that comes to your head.
Like the only
David
that just
Bowie.
came to my head when I read it. I was like, David Bowie.
You're old, dude. Okay, number 3, shipping. 3, 2, 1.
Easy.
Protection. Okay. Number 4, Utah. 3, 2, 1.
Salt Lake
dinner.
City. No, you're kidding, bruv.
All right. Number 5, swoosh. Come on. 3, 2, 1.
Throw.
Nike. Nike? The swoosh?
You're pretty right on that.
Wait, what did you say?
I thought throw, like the sound of throwing, but that's not even right. Am I meant to be?
I thought that was an easy one.
Am I meant to think about the first word of my head, or am I meant to try and like?
We're trying to match.
Okay,
We're
yeah,
trying to
that's
match.
where I'm failing. Hey?
Yeah. Okay, well, we have 5 more attempts here.
All right, we're good.
Okay. Number 6, pop. 3, 2, 1, soda.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
we go.
Now we're on.
Yeah, we're on.
We're gonna get 5 from 5.
Okay, 7, alphabet. 3, 2, 1, ABC.
Nice. Killer.
Number 8, basketball. 3, 2, 1.
LeBron
Lakers.
James. Oh,
Dude, LeBron.
killing, yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Oh, there you go.
Should have said LBJ. Number 9, rain. 3, 2, 1.
Cloud.
Wet.
Close.
Number 10, birthday. 3, 2, 1.
Happy.
Mine.
Yeah, I was going to say something like Sunday or something. Sunday.
Close. How many do we get? 2. 2 out of 10. That ain't bad.
That's impressive.
That ain't bad. We just met each other.
That's 80% right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, 2 truths and a lie.
Okay, segment number 3, 2 truths and a lie. Okay, I'm gonna read this out. Okay, so one player takes a turn by stating 3 statements about themselves. 2 of these statements are truths, 1 is a lie, 2 truths and a lie. Mm-hmm. The other player listens carefully and then guess which statement is a lie. Player reveals, we know how to play. We know how to play.
Yeah.
We don't have to read this. Yeah.
I'm trying to win, right?
Okay, round 1, personal.
Who starts?
Who do we want to start?
So we say something personal about us.
Yeah, 2 truths and a lie.
truths
You
and-
start. 2 truths, 1 lie.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
I have 2 older brothers.
Okay.
I had a pet dog growing up,
Okay.
and I went to.
That's the lie. That's the lie.
And I grew up in Epsom.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a suburb.
The third one. It's a lie.
This is the truth.
Is it the truth?
Yeah, I didn't have a pet growing
You never.
up.
Oh, you didn't
I
have a
had a
pet.
pet growing up,
Yeah.
yeah, I never
You would have said the dog's name or like
yeah,
you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was gonna be the lie, but it took so long for the third one. I was like, that's probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I was
Next.
trying to come up with
Next for
something
me.
true.
All right. I've got 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
My middle name is a color. And I've lived in Utah for 10 years.
Your middle name's not a color.
It is.
You're kidding?
No, it's
Orange?
brown.
Oh,
It's brown.
brown. I was trying
right.
to think of what would like
TBC.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Brown Chatterley.
Yeah. It's a good name.
Yeah.
Strong name. Some people might say. Okay, next one. Round 2, business. Okay, business. Okay,
I start.
you start again. I think we keep it at 2 rounds. I think this is a lot. It's tough.
Yeah, it's hard to like come up with something entertaining. I'm like, how out there do I go? I'd never worked in sales until last year. I used to sell cans of Coke on the bus to school.
Cans full of Coke or Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola.
Okay. Just verifying.
Yeah. And I was mentored by someone younger than me named Jeremiah.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Yeah.
You know that song?
No, I don't.
Okay. It's a good one. His name's not Jeremiah.
Yeah, it's a terrible lie. So bad. So bad.
So yeah. So that's the lie?
That's the lie, yeah.
Okay, point for me. All right, ready? How much do I share? There's got to be some stuff I don't share.
That was probably my falling point.
Okay, okay. So I've never been in sales. I've started a data analytics firm with my professor in college, working with Shopify brands. And I was, I guess this kind of pertains to business. I had a 4.0 in college.
Nice. You're in sales right now. Like technically.
Technically.
You did not have a 4.0 in college.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You took one look at me and said,
No, my
that guy doesn't have a 4.0.
It's funny how it's hard to like come up with. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough.
That's
the
not why.
point.
That's not why I guessed it though. You look like a 4.0 kind of guy.
Yeah.
4.0 is fucking hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. I had good grades, but it wasn't a 4.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have good grades.
No, I didn't. Shout out my wife for helping me out my
you go.
senior year. I ended with a 3.5.
Solid.
Sorry. Yeah.
I have no idea what GPA
It's like
means.
above average,
Yeah,
probably.
Okay, that's helpful.
But just barely. Just
Yeah.
barely. Yeah, I'm still average as it pertains to that. Okay, round 3.
Your choice.
Our choice.
Can you start this time?
Last round.
Yeah, I'll
switch it
start.
up on
Yeah, I have plenty of time to think when
See,
you
I'm
go first.
going to sit here and think about.
All right, my choice. Let's see. My favorite clothing brand is right now at the moment is Represent. I love cars. I love the smell of cars. Like a brand new car, you sit in it, the leather and everything, love it. And number 3 is I learned how to ride a bike when I was 7 years old.
You don't love the smell of cars.
I do. That's a truth.
Yeah, real?
Yeah.
Petrol
It's like yeah.
Girls
It's
stay
funny
away.
because I don't know I don't know anything about cars really. I just know that I love them.
Yeah, fair enough.
And shoes, brand new shoes too, right out of the box.
I mean, Represent
Nice.
was obviously true.
Yeah,
Should be everyone's favorite
Great.
brand. Should be everyone's favorite brand. I had
Tough
I just drank Cadence this morning. Tough brand.
Yeah, very sick.
And so good.
Yeah.
Nail branding. Yeah.
Dude, they've crushed it.
Yeah.
They've crushed it. And the founder's just like, what a sick dude.
Yeah, they're like the people that you look at and you're like, yeah, but
You're like, I need to start running.
yeah.
I'm like, I need to
very,
run.
like very aspirational
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
For sure.
Just cool.
They're gonna have some cool
Swagger.
kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Very cool. Okay. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, I got plenty of time. I was thinking. My favorite food's paella.
Another thing. What is that? Can we off the screen?
Paella? It's like a Spanish delicacy
Okay.
thingy.
Wow,
like
very nice.
risotto-y, like seafood.
Traveler. Yeah, world traveler.
And then when I was like 9, I wrote a speech about why you should live in Germany. And I won the speech contest at my primary school. It
Did you really?
Yeah.
What was the reason why?
was a great speech.
No, why? No, not that you won. Why move to Germany?
I don't know, for some reason I was just obsessed with like some of the landmarks there and
How
the
old were
food
you
and the
when you
culture.
were obsessed with
I was
Germany?
9.
Okay.
And that was the thing. Maybe I was 10, but that was I wrote my speech about why you
Germany.
should live in Germany.
Wild.
Yeah, it was random.
Okay, so
I
when
think
I
I was
was
just really struggling for a speech topic.
I love that. When I was 8 years old, I was obsessed with Canada. So my parents took me to Canada for my 8th birthday.
Canada's beautiful.
Yeah, it's very.
See, I'd never been to Germany. I wrote
And
that
there's- yeah.
speech.
That's wild.
I'd never been.
Shout out to Julian
Yeah.
from Parcel Up.
Yeah,
Do you know
hell
him?
yeah. I have him,
German
yeah.
guy. Yeah, really nice guy.
And
We'll
then,
make the intros.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then I for 4 years in high school, I didn't drink any soft drinks because I didn't want to be a worse rower, like fitness wise. I was like, I'm cutting out bad food when I was in high school.
Jeez, what was your first one again?
My favorite food's paella on the screen.
Oh, that's a lie.
No, that's so true.
Oh, wow.
I didn't write the
Oh, there it is.
I never wrote the Germany speech.
What?
Yeah. That was just complete nonsense.
Wow, you worked me.
Yeah.
I was locked in. I even shared a very personal experience with you
I know.
based on that lie.
I just lied to your face. And like grins and all.
And I believe it,
Grins
man.
and
I
all.
really believed it.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
You just got to know me a little bit better.
now I know when you're lying.
Yeah.
Well, Hamish, thanks for coming on, man.
Hell yeah.
It's been a great time. Have you had a good time?
I
You've
have
done
had a
other
good time.
podcasts.
I've done a few, yeah.
This is number 1.
This is, what do you mean number 1? This is number 1, yeah.
This is the best one.
This is the most different one I've done.
Yeah.
I've never had a non-continuous like flow. It's nice to break it
Yeah.
up
Yeah, it is nice.
and get ask specific questions.
You get some water. You get some time to think about
It's terrifying being put
fun
on the
answers.
spot, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you're doing enough. It's just reps, man. Just reps. That's the end of the day. You know what I mean? Building that muscle.
Yeah. I'll get better at reading your mind next time.
I love it. Well, hey, you've got 3 cameras on you today. What do you want to tell the world?
Stop manually editing orders.
Very direct, straight to the point. Use order editing.
Use order editing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it works with your 3PL, and it works with NetSuite, and it works with Fulfill. Don't listen to them. It works with all of
Don't
them.
listen to
They'll
the
tell
big
you,
guys.
They'll tell you it doesn't work. I'm telling you it does. We have every client that uses them.
That's fantastic. And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Thank you, brother.